Welcome, dear travelers, to This Week in Adventures League. I'm Hannah the Lorekeeper, your guide to the world of Dungeons & Dragons. I'm both a player and occasional dungeon master for my local comic book store's Adventures League, the official Wizards organized play for D&D. This series will be going over my personal stories of fun, danger, and thrills that you can have with the pre-made modules. Homebrews are fun, but it's not the only way to play. And I want to highlight that and maybe encourage some people to go out there and meet new people in their own communities. For this first episode, I'm going to introduce you to my Adventures League characters. A quick note before getting into this, if you're going to make a character for this style of play, you can't make one willy-nilly. There's some things that aren't what's called AL legal, but the rule of thumb is that anything in the regular old player's handbook is fair game, plus one extra official supplementary book. But only one. There's no mixing and matching with, for example, something in Xanathar's guide and Volo's guide, so choose wisely. You also have to use a standardized stat spread for your 6 abilities. No rolling for stats, mister. I just happen to roll 20s and everything. I see you over there. There are a few classes and races that aren't legal either, at least not yet. Looking at you, Satire Bard. One day. And finally, alignment-wise, neutral evil and chaotic evil characters are not allowed. However, lawful evil is permitted if you take the Zentarum or Lord's Alliance factions. Though factions are going to have their rules changed in the upcoming season, so this alignment quirk might be getting tweaked, but err on the side of caution for your lawful evil characters. So with that out of the way, it's time to meet my cast of characters. First up, we have Liana Silverton, my level 11 human, with 9 levels of Life Cleric Devotion to the God of Perseverance Ilmater, 2 levels of Wild Magic Sorcerer from Dabbling with Alchemy, and the honor of being the very first character I ever made for 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons. She's a native of the far-off desert land of Sakara, whose family is afflicted by a mysterious illness, and in search of a cure, Liana has gone traveling the world for a way to rid her family and herself of the incurable sickness. Because she's my first character, she's got a few, let's say, quirks about her. Despite being a life domain cleric, she can't wear heavy armor because her weakest score is strength. And she ironically has no proficiency in religion. But she makes up for this in having a keen eye for alchemy and hoarding every single potion she comes across. Potion of fire resistance? I'm sure it'll come in handy someday. I don't use strength but carry around a hell giant potion? But what if I need it? Because she is physically weak, she's had to use her wits and caution to survive as long as she has, and like the god she follows, her endurance in the face of impassable odds has gotten her through hell and back. Next we have a very different character, Tarn Evil, my level 6 lore bard and mountain dwarf. His story is that he grew up in the military of Citadel Felbar, but when the time came for his very first battle, he turned tail and ran away, joining a traveling troupe for a time and changing his name, before breaking off to do his own solo act. Chubby and happy, he can be a bit of a coward, but when push comes to shove, he'll do what needs to be done. When you hear the word bard, you might picture a lute player singing gracefully about epic battles. But not Carney. He doesn't sing, he doesn't play, and he doesn't dance. Carney is a comedian. He uses vicious mockery to literally attack people with puns, and has currently gotten the finishing blow on a giant spider, a swarm of rats, and a dryad with his puns. And it was glorious.
Oh, and he talks like this, with a terrible mix of Scottish and Irish accents. Hello there, I'm Carney, and I'm here to have fun, kick guards, and get lots and lots of beer money.
My third character is my level 5 half-elf warlock by the name of Atiesh. His story is that his mother was a talented but foolish wizard who attempted to seal away the mighty demon lord Demogorgon, but instead was tricked into making a pact for her unborn child. And when this child came of age, the pact awoke within him and he was bound to the demon. Now he wishes to become the world's greatest warlock so he can rise above his master and take the freedom he's never known. If you're wondering if this is Medivh, yes, I took Medivh from the Warcraft series and made him into a D&D character. Unlike my other 2 characters who are neutral good, Atiesh is chaotic neutral, but you wouldn't know it by looking at him. He is normally a very calm and quiet man. It's when he gets an opportunity to unleash his magic on his foes that his chaotic nature rises to the surface, unleashing fire and brimstone without mercy and with great delight. He also has a familiar, an imp that is almost always shaped into a raven, who goes by the name of Khadgar.
And he talks like this! Hack!
Where LTS is quiet, Khadgar is loud and obnoxious, always making snide quips at the actions of others. In fact, the familiar is so much more recognizable than the actual character that the rest of my group will ask if I'm playing Khadgar tonight, not Altiesh. Despite, or perhaps because of their differences, they make for a fun and memorable team. And finally, my newest character is a level 4 drow named Monster, with 1 level of druid and 3 levels of barbarian. A drow barbarian, you say? Wouldn't that be the worst class to use for a drow because of their sunlight sensitivity? Yes! Yes, it is. The backstory for this guy is that he was once upon a time a poor drow living in the Underdark who would go to the surface to hunt animals and bring them back down to help feed a starving family. Not all drows are nobles, people. But one day he came back with the bite of a werewolf, and his family drove him away, yelling that he was Findar, or monster in the drow tongue. He doesn't know how long he was a werewolf, but one day he found himself mysteriously cured of his affliction and sitting underneath an oak tree, the symbol of Sylvanus, the god of wild nature. Taking this as a divine sign, Monster joined the Emerald Enclave and devoted himself to Sylvanus to repay his debt and discover what his destiny has in store for him. And let me tell you, I played only 3 sessions with this character so far, and all of them have been legendary.
He yells everything he says and runs straight into everything.
And he's chaotic good, which is like the exact opposite of the usually neutral evil alignment of most of his kind. He is the least drow you will ever meet. He needs 1 more druid level so he can shapeshift into a raging direwolf with the Haunted One background, which is a little thing from Curse of Strahd that allows characters to have tortured pasts, one of the options being a cured werewolf. Basically, this is my attempt at getting the closest thing to being a werewolf as you can get as Adventures League. This is because werewolves are chaotic evil, so no curse for you if you want to keep that character AL legal. One day. And that is the current cast of characters that are going on these crazy adventures in the Forgotten Realms. And unless I'm the Dungeon Master one week, one of them will be the focal point of the episode. So come along for the journey next time as I regale exactly what happened this week in Adventures League.